The less personal you take things, the more freedom you will find. The less personal you take things, the less likely you are to judge other people. And when you don't judge other people and you're not fazed by any of it, this is where your freedom lives. So this is for you if you play both sides. And it's the I don't give a fuck that I had to find. That's the title of this episode. The I don't give a fuck I had to find. So it's something that I have to rediscover constantly. And it looks a little something like this. Ruthlessness is required. Sorry, friend. Ruthlessness in your pursuit to self, in your pursuit to success, in pursuit of redefining your success, in what other people think of you, what you hear about yourself, being the villain in other people's story. Ruthlessness is required. I can't tell you how many of my mentors or my network or the people that are doing exceedingly well beyond where I'm at. And I come to them and I'm like, this person said this. My audience thinks this. The people at my event think this. Someone said this. And they're like, so what? Who cares? If a small percentage of anyone you serve is complaining, you don't have a problem yet. When you find someone that has a 100 out of 100 run in reviews, in performance, in everything, then cool, let's talk about it. But other than that, when you perform and show up for a high quantity amount of people and at a expectation of high quality, you are bound to make some mistakes. You are bound to do some things you don't mean to do. And so you have to continuously choose to be ruthless in your pursuit. And you have to be very forgiving of your mistakes, your guilt around your mistakes, your shame around your mistakes, and the choices that you make sometimes because you're not always going to be right. You also have to be ruthless in you're giving a shit about what other people think about you. Because there's always going to be a small percentage of people that love you one minute and hate you the next. And I'm sorry to say it. I'm literally thinking about this quote that Susie Orman had on The Breakfast Club that I've literally had to embrace because it has been one of the things that has kept me functioning. And if I misquote it, I'm sorry, but she said something along the lines of like, elephants don't stop walking because dogs are barking. And I was like, and that doesn't mean that I think I'm bigger or better than anyone. But they're just unbothered because you're small, you're loud, you're noisy, but you ain't really doing nothing. It's kind of a mindset I've had to embrace because if you're not running a business like me, if you're not paying 10 to 15 staff like me, if you're not contract managing and doing all the things that I'm doing, and it's not saying that I don't respect other people and their work, but this also means you don't have an opinion. And if you do, it doesn't matter because I am ruthless in my pursuit to my goals, my success, my desires, the life that I want, the balance that I am calling into my life, the abundance that I know I will have. And so your little opinion or your thoughts, your unsolicited thoughts or whatever can no longer faze me. Elephants don't stop because dogs are barking. Also, your newfound freedom lives here. I don't know how else to tell y'all that every time something stuck me where it hurt, whether it was a mistake on my part, whether it was something outside of me, whether it was my business, something that I had taken a risk on that did not work out, there was something better on the other side. And so the less you allow people's judgment to faze you, the less personal you take things. This is like a very simple construct in the 4 agreements. Like, the less personal you take things, the more freedom you will find. The less personal you take things, the less likely you are to judge other people. And when you don't judge other people and you're not fazed by any of it, this is where your freedom lives. Things in life are not meant to be taken personal. As you can see, we are in a bound society that is committed to being offended about everything. We are not allowed an opinion anymore. This is part of the reason why I have been so silenced because I don't know what to say, because I'm afraid I will offend or upset someone or someone will use it against me. But I promise when you find that I don't give a fuck, your newfound freedom lives here. You will find freedom in being less judgmental, people's thoughts and opinions and judgments of you. your own mistakes. Like your appraisal of self will look different. So you will find freedom there, which passes me on to this. Something else I had to embrace. I suppose they're right when they say you're not doing something right if you're not pissing other people off. If you don't have copycats, if you don't have people trying to do what you do, if you don't have people talking shit to other people about what you do and how you show up in the world, you're not doing something right. Now, I'm not saying let's go acquire a bunch of haters because people can't support what they don't understand. I don't call them haters. I call them people that are unclear. They literally cannot support something that they don't understand. But if you don't have a few folks that can't support what you do or have taken it upon themselves to say things that may or may not be true, that is on them. That is not on you. And if you haven't created a few of those, you technically aren't working hard enough. It is inevitable. It is inevitable. So the best way I can say this last part about the I don't give a fuck I had to find is something I heard on another podcast the other day. And it was someone said that she was talking to her mentor and she kept saying, but I just want to do this work because I want to bring other people up. I want other people to see my journey and be inspired by it so they can come with me. I don't want everyone to think that I'm thinking I'm the only person that can do this. I want to drag everyone with me. And she said, her mentor said, why? So they can bring you down. Now take that with a grain of salt. It doesn't go for everybody, but the boat gets heavy. Everybody can't go with you to these new levels. And sometimes they may go to one or two, but your success in the places that you go gives people room to become very reflective of themselves, AKA take a good long look in the mirror. And a lot of times they might not be happy with what they see, and therefore they will turn that on you. So I say that to say when people unexpectedly, circumstantially have a change of heart about how they see you. This is going to sound so cold of me. I feel like I sound like a completely different Jessica. But if it's not affecting your business, your pockets, your team, your family, your children, or your loved ones that are closest to you, please proceed. Carry the fuck on. I really feel like as I'm recording this to you that I sound very cold, but there's a part of me that has just decided that a very significant part of me had to mature to get through the last iterations of my life. Because to run a business, you have to be risk averse. To network with high level people, you have to perform at their level. To succeed certain financial goals, you have to be willing to take some losses, look them dead in the face, and keep it pushing. And if you spend your time deviating from where you are supposed to be, your purpose, your passion, by getting distracted by what other people think, what your competition is doing, what other folks are doing, what people may or may not think about you, overanalyzing and overthinking the way in which you show up in the world instead of focusing on your impact and your purpose, you will be stuck and live the same cyclical cycle over and over again. So here's my short invitation. Find it. Be ruthless in your pursuit to whatever it is that you know to be true, that is your thing. God does not put a vision on your heart that you cannot handle, that is not already yours. You might just be stuck in the process or in the middle, meeting yourself and meeting these lessons where you are. I don't know about y'all, but I learned my lessons on repeat. I'm being funny about like the I don't give a fuck I had to find, but truly, you've got to let some people's opinions and thoughts and fears and doubts for you go. They're not qualified. And if they have access, they have responsibility. And their responsibility is either to support you, push you, motivate you, or help guide you through the spaces that you're in. If they cannot, that's fine. They are allowed to stand on the sidelines. I am not a proponent of drop them like a hot pocket, like everybody else says. They are free to stand on the sidelines. You cannot be held accountable to their opinions, thoughts, and fears and doubts. It makes your journey impossible. So my short invitation to you is find that. Find that I don't give a fuck. Find that ruthlessness. Find that path, that uncharted path, and let folks watch on the sidelines and they can ride in the backseat, but they cannot drive. In my season, in my 2023, that I don't give a fuck I had to find. I really hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will catch you on the next episode of Rich in Real Life.